What is up, YouTube? Now today's video is about something that's kind of buzzing in the overland community, and that's about this person that went on a trail that was only supposed to be for 4x4, but he had a Subaru Crosstrek and he ended up receiving a letter from the national park saying that his car wasn't allowed there and he could face a fine of $5,000 and or plus jail time. And it just has everyone talking. He goes by the username You Great Big Dog on Reddit, and he never got stuck. He actually completed the trail, but then he received this letter from the National Parks and Services. Pretty much the letter states that he has a couple violations. So he's violating a closure, designation, use or activity restrictions or conditions. Scheduling of visiting or public use is prohibited. But right here on the bottom it says, as stated, high clearance four-wheel drive is required on motor vehicles traveling on the following roads. And it has all the roads, including the one that he did, which is the Colorado Overlook Road. So it says right here, future violations may incur a collateral forfeiture, fine of $5,000, and up to 6 months of imprisonment and or penalties. And so I wanted to make this video just to kind of give my 2 cents. Now, one thing I found funny while doing my research on this topic is it says here that Subaru is the largest corporate donor to the National Park Foundation, providing over $55 million in support and helping protect America's over 400 national parks. Subaru doesn't make any 4x4 cars, they only make all-wheel drive cars. If this rule goes into effect for all trails, then essentially Subarus won't be allowed anymore along with other all-wheel drive vehicles. As you guys know, I started this channel with a Subaru Outback Wilderness, and you see a bunch of signs when you go on the trails. Some of them might say 4x4 recommended, high clearance recommended. Some will actually say 4x4 vehicles only. And as you know, a Subaru is an all-wheel drive car, not a 4x4 car. So just a quick kind of recap on what an all-wheel drive is versus a four-wheel drive. Pretty much, to me at least, four-wheel drive just means you have a transfer case, like you can go into 4-low. You have locking differentials, which makes the wheels spin at the same time. What happens with Subaru is when you have a wheel up in the air and your axles are crossed up, like in this video right here, and you pretty much lose power because that wheel is freely spinning, versus if you had a 4x4 with the locking differentials, the wheels will spin at the same amount no matter what you're doing, and it does wonders when you're off-roading. Definitely will get you out of a sticky situation. So as you guys know, I started this channel with a Subaru Outback Wilderness, and I updated since then to my Ford Raptor, which is a four-wheel drive car, but a lot of my friends still off-road in their all-wheel drive cars. Now, what does that mean for them? So this whole letter thing is actually not telling the whole story. National parks have always had laws, and national parks always had their own set of rules. For this particular trail, the Colorado Overlook Trail, you're actually required to have a permit to go on it, and it is 4x4 only, meaning you do have to have a 4x4. Not that the Subarus or any other all-wheel drive car can't make it, but that's just the specific rule for that specific trail. But people are scared, people are talking, people that have built out their all-wheel drive cars. What does that mean for them? Like, what if they enforce this for all trails? I don't know if people, I think, are getting stuck, and it's mostly the people that have all-wheel drive cars that are in their stock form, meaning they have stock ride height, maybe highway terrain tires. So all my friends that drive an all-wheel drive car, some of them are actually thinking about possibly making that switch now, not because their car is not capable enough, but just because I don't want to get fined. No one wants to get fined, no one wants to get ticketed. We're all out here just overlanding and just having a good time. I think the National Park Services is tired of rescuing people and finding these stock all-wheel drive cars that pretty much don't have the, you know, ground clearance. It cost them a lot of money to enforce it, to have someone there to monitor it. I understand the aspects, you know, like you want a 4x4 car on a 4x4 trail for safety reasons. Again, you don't want to get stuck and hold up everyone on the trail, or you get into an accident because your car is not capable enough. You know, I look at 4x4 as something that, you know, a lot of the trails you go on, they don't really need 4x4s. I do a lot of the dirt trails, especially the easy forest roads. I do it in my truck, at least, in just 2-wheel drive. You know, I only engage 4 low or, you know, 4 high when I need it, and I only engage the lockers when I truly need it. But that's like having like a med kit in your car, right? Or I have an air pump in my car. I don't want to have to use it, but if I needed it, I'm glad I have those tools to use it at my disposal, and, you know, and keep me safe, and, you know, not hold anyone else up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know, how should the National Park Services handle this? I know personally, you know, like I said, I have a lot of friends that have all-wheel drives, and they have really built out all-wheel drives that are, you know, so capable. I'm not gonna say they're as capable as a 4x4, but capable enough to do, you know, easy to moderate trails. You know, so if you have an all-wheel drive and they enforce this rule for all trails, are you gonna quit wheeling altogether, or are you gonna upgrade to a 4x4? And how do you guys feel about this? You know, just let me know in the comments below. And if you guys want to see any of my adventures, I actually took my Raptor to Usal Road, like I said, on that muddy trail. If you guys want to see that video, I'll put that video right here. And if you guys want to see my Subaru Outback Wilderness attempt a moderate 4x4 trail, you can watch that video right here. And as always, I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.